Hey guys, it's Christopher Lewis, and welcome to Dating Intelligence, the podcast where we give relationship advice from dating to marriage and everything else in between. And always with the goal of helping you to continuously be the best you at all times.
So if you're looking for real, honest information to help you navigate your relationships, we've got you covered.
We've got you covered. All right, guys. Hello. We got a new episode for you today. And guess what? It's just Jamie and I in studio today. And we're super excited just to give you some of us.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Do we give them some of us?
I mean, I don't give myself freely. So.
All right. I'm easy, guys. I'll give you whatever you need. So.
But it was our birthdays.
Yes, we did
birthday
celebrate.
Week.
Jamie and I have celebrated our birthday back to back, literally back to back. She's the day before mine, and I'm after hers, and we are just symbiotic Leos together.
Mm-hmm. Did you do a big party this year?
No, we kept it small. Just I didn't want to do anything. All I wanted to do was work this year and just be kind of left alone and incognito, and it was perfect.
Birthday sex?
No, not even birthday sex,
What?
by the way. You know, I had no birthday. The girls were over that night as well. So not to say that wouldn't have stopped us from having birthday sex, but
yeah.
My significant other had to she was on call and probably had to go in at any given time to do transplant surgery stuff. So, we were kind of on call.
Excuses.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. Not buying it.
All right, so here we go. Well, I'll throw the question back at you then. Did you have birthday sex?
No, I live alone. Well, I don't really live alone, but no, I didn't have birthday sex. I'm like low key on my birthday. I'm complete opposite of you. So I literally hide on my day and I don't come out till the next day.
But that's what I was doing. That's why I said I wanted to keep my head down and just kind of work and I had a smile all day long. I was happy as a lark and I just kept it low key.
What the hell is a lark?
I don't know, but I just like saying that word. It's a type of bird, like a stork or something, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know why they always say they're happy though, but storks usually stand on one leg, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
That's a flamingo?
Oh yeah, flamingos. But
Storks deliver babies. They deliver babies.
Right, but they also stand on one leg when they're in the water as well, don't they?
You know what? This is unfamiliar territory.
All right.
Thank God we have Travis to keep us in line.
Well, we also have a new intern that's going to join us. And she's on her trial run today. Her name is Sydney Felton. Sydney, come say hello on the show. You can use my mic. Say hi to everybody out there in the audience.
Hello, everyone.
All right. We've been waiting months, people. And like I said, it's just she got the job because no one else wanted it. It was so difficult that no one else wanted the job, so we gave it to her.
Yes.
All right. So let's start with you. What have you been up to, sweetheart? It's been a while, by the way.
You always say that.
It has been. I mean, this is the longest I think we haven't been in studio. It's been about a month.
Really?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Has it been that long?
I don't know. I'm just going to say it has been.
Oh, okay. I don't feel like it has been, but I feel like you were just here last week. But so just got back from lobstering in the Keys.
Love that.
Had an amazing time. I was one kid short, so my team was a little
off.
Team
Villamore missing one.
Because we're super competitive. But she did amazing. I think she caught 12 on her own.
Oh, wow.
So she definitely did better than I did. And we came home with a Yeti backpack full of about, 48 lobsters. So.
Wow. Do you have anything on that, by the way? Oh,
yeah. There's our catches.
Those are huge.
I know. We had a blast. So we did mini season this year. Caught a bunch and then went out and did fishing one day. So got some dolphin or mahi-mahi.
Right.
We ate the fish. It was delicious. We did lobster ceviche and then... Yeah, we bring them home. And they literally last us not the entire year, but... Okay.
Are you good at cracking and breaking and cutting them up and all that
Oh my gosh,
stuff?
my daughter is such a little G. Mm-hmm. She just pops the head off and cleans it out and tosses it to the side. It's
wow.
So... I should send a video in maybe... with our guests, we'll freak her out, but yeah.
All right.
I'll show maybe on another episode of the process of actually cleaning them and bringing them back.
Good.
It's a little, I'm like, whoa, she's like a savage.
See, this is why I was saying earlier, I feel like we've been out of the studio in a while. I feel like we've both been on a mini hiatus. So,
I know. And then you were in Texas.
Yeah, I was
without
in Texas. I was without you. I was hoping that you might have shown up for a day. I was just praying and hoping, but I knew you were in the Keys doing your thing. So I actually had After Podfest, when I was there for my speaking gig that one time, I had with a friend of mine put together a content immersion group together. So we did this retreat in Dallas, and we were gone for about a week, and 7 of us were in this house together. I think Travis has a clip on that one. We kind of did this real world soundbite and everything. But
this is the
oh my God!
Of 7 strangers picked to live in a house,
work together, and have their lives taped.
to find out what happens
when people stop being polite.
Shut up.
and start getting real. The real world, Austin.
yeah, so I put
fun.
this. Thank you. I put this group together, and it came together in like 3 weeks' time. I felt there was a need, and my friend and I were talking. Holly Shannon, shout out to you. We were talking at Podfest, and we're like, there's got to be a need for workshopping and taking everything you learn at a convention and a conference and actually implementing the work. So I saw this need, reached out to some people, and they're all on board. And 7 of us ended up at this house, and we just did work together and did content and social media stuff and learned LinkedIn and all these things that we were wanting to get better at. We just gelled and just had the most amazing time. We even did like this personal business strategy session where each of us talked about from our beginning origins from a child up to an adult and what we wanted to get out of our businesses and stuff like that, and just changed each other's lives that whole week. It was like the most amazing concept. And so this is probably going to hopefully end up becoming a business.
I love it. Do you think you guys will do it again and revisit that in a few months?
We probably will do it again in October, November is what we're talking about with the 7 of us, to make sure it wasn't lightning in a bottle and that we all can get along again and hopefully grow. And each time we get together, it's just keeping each other accountable for where we're at in our lives right now with our businesses and how we've grown since then.
I love that.
Right. So we'll eventually add more people to the group and continue traveling around to different parts of the country, maybe New Mexico and the world, and pick awesome spots and just create content and just learn from each other. So I'm also going to give a shout out to Johnny for his Lifey. I'm wearing one of his t-shirts today, and I got his, he actually has this quarterly planner that he uses that actually helps people to better their lives. So, and I was just like, I need this. It's like think of a planner that has every day you put your goals in for that day.
That's what I do, Chris.
Yeah, you would love
I need this
by
planner.
The Lifey planner it's amazing. I'll get you one of these.
Okay.
But he wants to create this whole community out of this whole situation, and I think he's on his way to doing that.
Okay. So I'm like a huge advocate on before we go to bed. I think that you should list out your intentions for the following day and some things that you'd like to accomplish and get done, because I feel like it gives our brain like it puts our brain at ease and rest.
Right.
So you already know that you have an idea of what you want your day to look like, and then it's like kind of your shut off time. So I love doing that. And then in the morning, I'll start out with like a list of gratitude. So I like to list at least a few things that I'm grateful for.
This whole book has all of this planner.
Let me see that.
It's like, it's a quarterly planner. And like I said, you literally go through it, and it helps you to just stay on a path and just stay on the right path of what you want out of your life. Right?
I like
it has everything.
this. Yeah.
So I'll
Is
get
there
you
a
copy
link
of one
or
of those.
something that
There is. You
people
want to go
can
to
check
like,
this
guys,
out?
just go to like, look up Johnny.
Plan.
Blah,
blah, blah.
Mess up his name, John Gregorio, and just look up Lifey, like the planner, and you can find it on, I think, Amazon and all these other sites. Go to his personal website as well. But it's this amazing planner that will put your life in order, and it comes out every quarter, so you're accountable of putting in everyday writing, and just once again, he's trying to create this community of just people who just get their shit together.
Yeah. I need to get my shit together.
Well, I need to always get my shit together. And I need to start writing it down, by the way, too.
Yeah. You do.
Yep.
Have you seen? Okay, so my planner is like a little bit bigger, and it's a planner journal scrapbook. So now I started printing out photos, like kind of from my trips or adventures, and it kind of goes in there.
See, it's an art form. I think, and plus it keeps you updated and accountable for your everyday life. And I don't have that. I just kind of just fly by the seat of my pants.
Yeah.
And since then, I started using this and started writing because I want to get back into just being more diligent about writing every day and just kind of getting back on track and looking at my goals and following through. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're on our way. We are on our way, girl.
Yeah.
We also have a bunch of stuff coming up, guys, like events coming up for us. I know that there's something in October coming up. We're doing this festival that we're going to do a live event at, and a few other things still traveling for us.
Yes. We will be taking our show on the road to the Bahamas.
Okay.
So, yeah, we will drop dates on that soon. So we would love to connect with some of our fans. We've been getting a ton of like really cool questions.
Yep.
So we will keep you guys posted on that.
Yeah, we are very appreciative of you guys, and thank you so much for checking in. Like, we have just been, our rise is just, it's been continuous growth, and it's just been an amazing run, and I want to stay on this, kind of riding this wave till we can. As long as Travis gets his passport, we are good to go.
Yeah, we can't go anywhere without you, Travis.
It's on its way. They stole my birth certificate to prove I'm a citizen, and now we'll be waiting.
I love it.
They better give that back. We need double proof of that, by the way. So, yeah, but we have lots going on, so we're super excited.
Cool. What are we talking about today?
All right, well, this is going to be great. We do have a topic, and this is something that we're going to get into. All right, guys, so Jamie and I actually have an episode. You know, I know you guys love to hear about us, and we figured we need to do a solo episode. So our topic of today is called Avoid the Silence. Trying to be cool in your relationship by giving your significant other space, but not letting them know exactly what you need without sounding too needy, thus resulting in the both of you feeling distant and more closed off. That's what the topic is. Now, I'll lead with this one. So I just literally had a situation with this. And for myself, with my girlfriend, I am that type of guy where I just want to make sure if, you know, I try to give as much space as I can. You know, everyone needs their time. Everyone needs private time. You know, we all have quality time. We have that all. But when we're in work mode, it's very difficult to get on the same page sometimes. And so what I forget to do is to check in, because I'm assuming that my significant other needs the time to work, needs her downtime. And I just want to make sure that I'm not kind of, in the best sense of the word, butting in and bothering her when she needs to work. You know, me being too needy to say, honey, I want to spend some time with you. I want to watch a show. Let's cuddle. Let's blah, 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 all this stuff.
Dude, do you do that?
I mean, in my mind, I do. Because I do want to spend a lot of time with her.
Do you ever do that out loud?
No.
Okay.
I just said, no.
Okay, because I was going to say, Chris.
Once again, that's my inner voice.
I would run away from you.
But this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I always play it very cool. Like she walks in, I go, hey, honey, what's going on? I got some work to do. I'm like, great, I can find something to do. I don't want to disturb her, like I said, and I want to make sure that she gets her time when she gets home, because like she's had a long days at the hospital and surgery and all that stuff. And you just kind of start wanting to feel each other out, but not invading their space when you know that you can see in their mind that they're not ready for that yet, right? It's not bombarding them at the door, in other words, okay? So there's moments now where it gets to a point where it just becomes commonplace now, where if she walks in and I walk in, we're just assuming each other just needs that time apart, or that space of like, Chris needs to unwind, or Jamie needs to unwind, or blah, 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 whatever it is. Yeah. And in retrospect, we're both wanting to be with each other.
Gotcha.
So it becomes this kind of thing where I call the avoid the silence, where now that you're so used to just avoiding it and not talking and communicating, now you're just assuming the other one needs their time, or vice versa. So you become distant.
Okay.
Okay, and I've literally...
Is this the space that you feel like you were in?
This is the space that I was in, but I also feel like I try to be respectful of giving my partner their space and time.
Okay.
You know, and all you guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. You know, like, and guys especially, you know, the first thing, like, I always had a friend saying, before I go home, I need to decompress. So I stop at the local hotel, stop in the bar, get a drink, and then I go home. Because I know when I walk in that door, it's going to be boop, 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 boop,
okay.
boop, you know, from his wife or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so he needs that, you know, that decompression time, which we all need. So I don't know what it is like for you when you walk in the door, but you know, I need some time for the most part as well.
So I'm like a huge advocate on, and it's a different dynamic, which you and I talked about. So when I was married and had small children at home, I stayed home a big majority of the time. And I always say to women, when your man gets home from work, fucking let him be. Give him at least 20 minutes, because I think we're guilty of, hey, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And we forget that, yeah, we've been busy all day too, playing like nurse, teacher, cleaning the house and all these things, but they've been busy at work too. So they kind of need their me time to kind of decompress and, you know, take on the family life. So I think it's a common mistake of
just jumping on them right away and like bombarding them.
And trust me, I was guilty of it, because there were a few times when he walked through the door and I'd fucking toss something at him and be like, peace out, motherfucker. Like, tag, you're it. You know, because we have our rough days, but I think getting in the routine of just kind of letting them be and letting them come to you is definitely a good idea.
And I get that. But there's also, like, I think that we had kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, there's a flip side to that as well, where I don't think that that's completely fair, because it's almost like he's not, or he or she is not being adherent to your needs as well. You know, so when they do walk in, this is the best thing that one of my best friends does. She has, and they do it for each other.
Yeah.
When they know the other's about to walk in the door, they hand them a drink, they give them a kiss, and then they just said, just do whatever you need to do, and then whenever you're ready, let's come back around.
That would make me feel so loved.
Right.
If I walked in the door and I was like greeted with like a coffee, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just a term of endearment that actually takes you out of that space, because we all sometimes come home with that heavy burden of our day. Yeah. Just like if you were sitting at home, you've had a heavy burden day. So that's why I was saying it's not that fair for him to just walk in and, hey, honey, leave me alone. I need some time.
Yeah. No. That's such a great point. I love that.
So for those guys out there, like I said, I mean, I thought it was brilliant. So usually I walk in, I'll give my girlfriend a kiss, say, hey, I just need a minute. And she goes, yeah, sure, take your time, whatever. And we always try to communicate that factor. And then there's those days you walk in and you're just happy as a lark. You just want to just jump in and join the chant and love and do whatever. But it's got to be, it's just an ever flow. But you have to read the room.
I dated one guy that he got up before me a lot. And I wanted to sleep in. Mm-hmm. So I was like traveling a lot during that time. So our time zones were very different. And every morning when I'd wake up, there would be a coffee made for me and a little note.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I thought it was just because it's the beginning, but it literally continued until the day like we parted ways. Like I would always wake up to like a sweet little like card and note, and it was so nice.
It makes your day.
And then when he would visit, he would hide notes around the house for me.
I love
so
that.
I'd randomly like find them and be like, "Aw," or he'd be like, "Hey, did you find this note?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't find it yet."
Right.
So.
And I don't think that's cheesy at all. I think that's fantastic,
I loved it.
by the way.
Yeah.
Like any little sticky notes or whatever it is, I find that a huge bonus for me. Like, especially when my girlfriend does it every now and then, for me, like that as well.
Okay, so when you start dating someone new, do you share these things that you liked from your other partner?
No, but okay, so there's no need to share. Why not just show?
No. What I'm saying is, like, I liked those things. So do I tell the new guy I'm dating? Like, I couldn't tell him that. I actually made a comment about waking up and having, like, my coffee brought to me. And it was, like, a casual conversation. So I wasn't like, hey, my ex used to make me coffee every morning. But I mentioned it, and he fucking listened. And when we were in Key West, guess what? 5:30, he got up before me. I get up and he had my fucking coffee and a Yeti for me. And I'm like, damn, this guy listens.
You answered your question then. So you don't have to like say in my ex relationship, just say if you put out little sprinkles of stuff, they should pick it up.
Yeah. And he did. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Everyone needs to hear those little things like that, because if it shows when you're talking about it and it gives you a sense of like, he can see the smile and the energy that you're feeling like when you're talking about it. That's a sign that you should be doing it.
But then I've dated other guys that get shitty, and they're like, ugh, like if he did that, I don't want to do that.
But why does it?
And
See,
like,
but that's what I'm saying. You don't have to
mature.
mention any names. Just like going, gosh, it's like when I love having coffee in the morning. You don't even have to put a label behind. Just say, or like for me, it's like with my girlfriend, I love having the bed made in the morning when I get up.
Yes.
They're just planting the seeds like that.
I feel like it's little things like that and little efforts in our relationships that make us feel so loved.
Right.
Like the coffee, it's such a easy task, but it literally makes me feel so loved.
See? But if it makes you happy, why would we stop doing it? That's the thing. So, and I can say, I'm laughing because for me, I always listen to those cues, and and if your person is not listening to those cues and you're just like, yes, every now and then, like, it doesn't have to be overload. You don't have to do it every day. You don't have to do it like, if it's once a month, that's
they do.
just
No, I'm just kidding.
For some
I'm just
people.
kidding.
No, but I mean, but if you really enjoy it and they have the time, then of course you do that. It's like, I feel like during COVID time when, mine was getting up early and having to go to the hospital every morning dealing with COVID patients and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I woke up with her at 5:00 every morning while she was in the shower getting ready to go to work, and I would pop out of bed. I didn't have to for the first time in my life because I'm always getting up before her. I'd pop out of bed, go and make coffee on the espresso maker real fast, and then just get it ready and make her a piece of toast, whatever she had for morning breakfast, and then just stand by the door, hand it to her. She's walking, I give her a kiss, and then go back to bed.
Yeah.
But I physically woke up just because I knew that I was helping her, and it made her day that much easier. So,
right. I have a little confession.
Is this newsflash here?
Well, it's like a question.
Okay.
For you. So, when you come in, like I typically always pick you up from the airport. And like vice versa when I fly in, which I will say, I feel like it's a lot more difficult for you to make time to pick me up.
Right.
Would you agree? Because of your lessons and stuff like that. So if you ever told me to Uber, I want you to know, as your friend, I would not be offended.
I know that. I know that about you.
But I love that you always make the effort to like come get me, and then you automatically take me to Baskin Robbins, which I'm like.
But it's the same that you do for me though, and this is why I love you so much, because it's like when I come in, you pick me up, and I'm like, no, I'll Uber. Like, Chris, you're not Ubering.
Yeah.
And it's like you take me the coffee bean. It's the same scenario. Like we're symbiotic.
Okay,
like
so
that.
this is my question. Do you, when your other friends come in, do you make them Uber or do you pick them up?
I try to pick them up if I can. But also if those odd times during the middle of the day or in the morning when I can't, then I always let them know, hey, I'm sorry if you need me to, but I just can't. Would you mind?
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, no problem at all. But I always try to. And if it's not true, like that one time you left super early, I would have gotten up and taken you to the airport that early, but you jetted out before I could do that.
I didn't want to inconvenience you.
Right.
Because I'm like, I feel like you don't have a lot of time with your girls, so the last thing I want you doing is like getting out of bed to take me to the airport. So I felt like as a friend, we should pick up on cues and do stuff like that. So I guess
well, we're self-sufficient. That's another thing as well too. It's like yesterday when I flew in, it's like, I had the intern meeting and I had to meet, one of our guests and things like that. And the timing of us sitting on the airplane an extra 30, 40 minutes, I was like, oh God, no, I'll just go right to the coffee place and I'll just go from there. And you're like, you sure? I'm like, no, of course I'm sure. It was easy. So that's just being respectful and just, not being too dependent on someone else. So that's all.
So I'm talking to this new guy.
Is he needy?
No, he's actually not. He's kind of a little opposite of what I'm used to.
Okay.
So typically I end up dating these guys that are kind of obsessed with me, which I love because I love to be like spoiled, and I do love attention, but sometimes it's like overbearing and it becomes too much and I'm like, ugh.
Back off.
Yes. So I'm used to that. And this guy, like I'll text him and he doesn't respond for an hour. And I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe we talked about this. So it kind of bothered me because I wasn't used to it, or like I didn't get like he never really texted me good night or good morning. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Maybe he's just not really.
Well, how
that
long were you
into
seeing
me.
this guy for though? Like how many days or weeks or whatever has it been?
I mean, I don't know. Like now it's been a while.
Right.
But it was probably like after, I don't know, we were like talking every day. It's been like 3 weeks, whatever.
Okay.
My girlfriend's like, it's way too soon. But like I said, it's just something that I'm not used to. So I kind of had to get used to it. And now I freaking love it because I always felt like I had to report to the other one. And it made it not fun for me. And it was like,
like it's
fuck,
almost like
a chore.
like a job now.
Yes,
Yeah.
I hated it.
Right.
So
and
now,
you felt like, okay, well, since he doesn't know, I have to check in and do it just because.
Yeah, and I'm so freaking busy that a lot of times, like, I can't respond to you and I can't sit on the phone with you for like 30 minutes.
Right.
So this transition has been really good for me and really nice. And I totally lost my train of thought.
No, it's okay. But
what was I talking about?
So you're talking about like if he didn't respond back to you when you had texted, you're not used to that because all the guys are using.
Yeah, usually they're like
all the adoration you get from these guys. They're basically like, oh, chiming in every day, and you're like, oh, it's a little. Not that it's too much, but you feel obligated to respond to them.
Yeah.
With this guy, when he didn't respond, now you're kind of thrown off because it's like, oh, wait, he hasn't responded to my shit. And now you're just like, oh, okay. But
so I did communicate. I was like, sometimes you don't respond to me right away. Because I was a little thrown off. And he goes, oh, it's never intentional. Typically, I just, like, I don't have service or like I'm busy, but I always get back to you when I can. And I appreciated it and I took it for what it was. And now I'm like good with it.
Okay. All right.
So it was like,
I'm reading I'm like going, depending on the situation of what busy to him means. What's he busy with? Why can't he get back with you?
Ooh, I don't know.
See, I
don't fucking know.
He
says that he's in and out of service.
Oh,
because he goes from like one place to the next, and he's like in the mountains, so he doesn't always have service.
Oh, well, that might be legitimate.
Do you think it could be a lie too?
I mean, it could
we never
be
know
as well, but I don't know. I need to know more of the backstory to get to the deep roots of this stuff. So you're not seeing him still, right?
Anyway,
Another guy?
Well, the whole point is I like it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of working for me.
Well, it's respectful. And I'm going to give you a bigger picture on that
Yeah.
one. So if you ever the scenario of what you're talking about, for instance, like I love from day one, like if I met you today, right? And all of a sudden I like to exchange numbers. I'm going to show that to you by reaching out to you probably in an hour, probably in 10 minutes to say, hey, had a great time, And then I'll always do these little sprinkles of just little text or whatever. But but you'll pick up on the personality of knowing that, oh my God, these are so sweet, Where most people might do or might be annoying, it's just all in the delivery, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, like if a person you really, really like, they called you every night or whatever, left messages every night, and you were really into that person, you wouldn't mind it so much because of the text and the way that they did it. Whereas it didn't feel so overburdened or too much. You know what I mean?
I mean, but the messages I got before, like in my prior relationship, they were so nice and thoughtful and like the letters and poems, but it was so overwhelming.
Okay, I got it.
I don't know why. Am I
Right.
such a bitch?
No, I mean, sometimes it's just like, but that reflects on the person, I feel, as a whole. Their image to you, that you've already put them in that box saying, yeah, which is not really the right person for you. I mean, I hate to say it. So, I mean, I've learned with my girlfriend now, it's like, because we're both so busy now that we check in. If we miss calls or like that, it's not like, if she doesn't text me back, I know that she's super busy and it doesn't bother me. So I'm like, okay, I'll probably talk to her tomorrow.
Sync.
Right, but that's because we're paying attention. So if you're paying attention to the other person's needs and vice versa, then it doesn't become like a chore.
So was I not paying attention then?
No,
because
they
I feel
weren't paying
like
attention is what I'm saying. Are you talking about when you felt you were being overloaded?
Yes.
They're not paying attention.
But he needed more from me, and I don't think that I could provide more.
And he should know that, though, by going out with you in the first place in your personality. It's not like you're not like showing one thing in front of him and something different when you're not with him.
Yeah.
That's his cues. He's missing the cues, quite frankly. So, he needs to avoid the silence more than anything else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all I know is, like I said, with dealing with communication guys and relationships, it's like, just check in, even though you feel like you don't want to be too needy or you feel like you're being overly aggressive or just not doing enough. Just talk to your partner and just read the cues more than anything else, because sometimes we all want to beat to our own drums. And it's one of the things I was telling someone the other day about, just as simple as me going to the store without checking in with my ex all the time, going, hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store. You know what I do? I go, I'm going to go surprise her and go to the grocery store when I come on the way home. So I go to the grocery store, pick up a bunch of stuff, and then I get home. She goes, I just went to the grocery store. Why didn't you call me and check in? I was like, damn, I was trying to surprise you by going to the grocery store. Now I fucked up because I should have just called.
Yeah.
My gut was telling me to call, but at the same time, I was like, I'm going to be a good guy and surprise her by going to the grocery store. Now we got $400 worth of groceries of the same shit sitting in the house. What do you do then? And now she's not happy. She's a little kind of peeved off because it's like
irritated
because I didn't call her and check in because we got our signals crossed. And so there's this thing of just kind of knowing what the right thing to do and what is really fucked up and the wrong thing not to do.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's all.
Right.
But anyways, there's, like I said, there's a lot of this going on. And I know like a lot of people with miscommunication in general, it's just, it's the perception all the time of what we want and what you're doing.
Right.
We do it with our friends. It's the thing, something of saying that, well, I'm not going to talk to this person because I think that they might be mad at me.
Right.
Versus just saying, why don't you just ask them they're mad at you?
Yeah.
Most importantly. So just make sure you guys, like I said, it's communication track and just going from there. All right. So with that being said, so if you want anything else to talk about on this note?
I think, like you said, communication is key.
Right.
So just learning to check in and pay attention to the cues is extremely important. And then, especially in the beginning, just, figuring out what works.
Right, because I think sometimes we try too hard at the beginning. Sometimes we feel like a lot of guys and girls, they play too many games at the beginning. So it's almost like you're kind of like sizing each other up, figuring out when to jump in.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for the other one to jump in, but the other one's too afraid. And why don't you just do what you want to do? One thing that I cannot stand is when people go, well, I want to do this. And I'm like, well, then just do it for the person. Well, they might think that I'm a little too this or that. It's like, well, see what happens.
Well, what about birthday?
Right. What about birthday?
Like, do you get them a birthday gift when you've only been seeing them for like a month or two?
But that's, once again, that's a feeling. That's something of a,
I mean, you know how I am with gifts.
If you over gift, that's one thing. I think we had talked about a past episode about if you could buy a person a brand new car on the second day, that's a problem right there. Some people might want that, but other than that, it's just a little too much.
Yeah.
Buy something thoughtful. Always think thoughtfully. A card is better than anything,
Right.
Just like you said, just like sometimes, like I remember, like even with your place, when I go to your place, it's like I try to make sure, what can I clean up, just to help out,
nothing.
just something.
Yeah.
Anything to be helpful is always a great, generous bonus for any situation. So, and if anybody gets mad at that, then they got issues. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Yeah.
You know, don't clean their bathrooms or anything like that for their lingerie drawer. That's an issue.
That's where my panties went.
Right. I'm taking this suitcase home, darling. Wait, what's in there? Your panties. So,
Yeah,
all right,
all right.
we'll just leave it at that. But so, guys, like I said, this conversation today is just really just being able to just listen to the needs of your partner,
Yeah.
whether it be a friend. I don't even care if it's family members. You know, it's like everyone just pay attention to the cues that are given. Like you said, if you need something, preface it. Don't put it in their face and say, well, my ex did this or some such and such did this for me, because that's really just going to piss someone off, honestly. And they're not going to want to do it. I wouldn't do it out of spite.
Well, no one wants to be compared.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
I think, communication is key, and then just letting our partners, like Chris said, whether it's family, friends, in a relationship, letting them know your needs and wants.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then let them take the cues, and if they don't, then you reevaluate.
Right. And realize your strengths, guys, in a relationship as well, because sometimes, like the other person might be stronger at something and you might be stronger than them at another something else. Like I know for myself, it's just restaurants, like picking a restaurant, I'm horrible at it.
I'm the same.
I do not want to do it. And I tell every girl I'm with, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry if I feel weak in that department. Like I'm not choosing.
And I don't want to decide.
Right. But most times, it's like, that's an easy thing to do. It's not easy
Yeah.
for me. I get too caught up in my head when it comes to eating decisions, and I'm it's all personal issues.
You know what I do? I make my dates order for me.
Okay. You mean just anything?
Yeah, I'm like, just order for me. I don't want to look on the menu and
Okay.
pick. And
All
I'm
right.
not picky. I'll eat anything. So I'm like, order for me. I went on a date with a guy, and I said, oh, just pick something for me and order. So usually
But how did it make him feel, though?
he said, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Because
And I was
that's a lot of
like-
pressure.
Yeah, I was going to ask
Yeah,
you, do
it's
you
a
feel
lot
like
of
it's
pressure.
He's the only guy that's ever been like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay.
You're going to pick. And I'm thinking, dude, most guys love to eat. So pick two things
Yeah.
that you want.
Yeah,
And
but I feel like, and I'm going to,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but I feel like it's pressure because of the fact that you're choosing something that you know nothing about at the beginning of a relationship about someone. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I'm not going to be that person where and most people use this as what do you call it? Like a power hold over someone.
Really?
You know,
Like I would
mean,
be using it as a
no,
power
like
hold?
if you allow someone to do that, you've
Yeah.
given them more power in any situation to where it's like, like
I
we're
just
most,
don't want to fucking decide.
okay, all right.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, just pick something out for me.
We would be
I'll love
sitting there with empty plates on
forever.
our,
Yeah.
just watering a conversation at that point, people. So,
So
all right,
All
well,
right, cool.
we're gonna end at this one, guys. So just that's Jamie and I's episode. It's been a while, but we just wanted
Yeah.
to contact, communicate, and just say hello to you guys and what we're up to. And are you plugging anything today?
ooh, today, thank you to Body Armor. Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Body
for
Armor.
hooking us up with all this fabulous water.
Any new work coming
Keep
up, by the
me
way?
hydrated. Yeah, I'm headed to Italy in a couple weeks, so I will be in the Amalfi Coast.
Oh, fun.
And then photo shooting in Venice. So really excited about that.
How do we jump on that one?
I mean, you're always welcome
I know.
on any and all of my trips.
I got to get my pass back. I need to get my flight pass back and just start
Let's
traveling
go.
again. So that sounds amazing. So,
Yeah.
Yep. All right, and for myself, like I said, I'm just want to say shout out to Lifey and a shout out to my friend Holly Shannon's book, Zero to Podcast. She wrote a book about how to start a podcast, and I was
Oh, I
like,
love
where's this
that.
book when I started our podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is why we have Travis for.
Yes.
Didn't have to do anything. Thanks,
I
Travis.
know.
No problem.
We just take the cues.
We just show up and just come up with some content, just work it
We're
out.
gonna wing it today.
Let's do it.
Yeah, obviously, guys, it's really not as simple as we just made it out to be.
Yeah.
Remember that one time
But-
you were like saying, I thought our job was just to show up. I go, no, that's your job, honey, to show up. I do a lot of work for this thing.
Travis has mentioned that before. He was like, Jamie just shows up. I am pretty sure Chris does all the work.
I mean, I'm scrambling, I'm writing, I'm like getting intros, I'm doing all this stuff, by the way, which I'm happy to do. That's why we're great
Right.
co-hosts for each other
Yeah.
and stuff. So
But yeah, anyone interested in getting into podcasting, check out Sticky Paw Studios, because I know they're working with like a lot of interns. So if you are interested in getting into podcasting, feel free to check out their page
Yeah.
and give
yeah,
them
the
a shout
studio's
out.
crushing it right now, guys. I mean, they have a lot of podcasts underneath their, I guess what we say, underneath your umbrella. and just crushing it.
And people come to Vegas from all over the U.S. to
Right.
literally film their podcasts here.
Yeah, I love it.
So
We love you guys.
just like you do.
Yep, all the time. All right, guys, I'm going to say you can find us at Anything Dating Intelligence on social media. Please check out our pages. We are growing. Like I said, everything's a lot of fun, and you will be hearing a lot more from us. Eventually, Jamie and I are taking the show on the road. We're going to be doing like live events in front of an audience as well. So, but that's it from my side. And you want to tell them your handle?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Jamie_Villamore. And if you have any questions that you want answered on the show, feel free to send them to my DM. I've been getting a lot of relationship questions, so it's been cool, and we will address those on the coming shows.
Nice. Yeah. And check out, please, you guys, on YouTube. Watch this on YouTube. I know you can get it on any audio platform, but YouTube's where it's at because it's just, you can see our faces and say hello. And also,
and our
please don't
beautiful
forget.
guests.
Yeah, our guests all the time. Don't forget to subscribe at YouTube as well, guys. All right. And this is another episode, honey.
Yay.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon.